today's thought of the day, I would say very much relatable. As we begin the sessions by 6:30 a.m. and that is why the doors open at 6:25. But I'm sure there are a few for whom to be on time is a challenge, right? This scramble to just, make up to this session. So that's the story of their morning routine. So let me just, help you visualize. You wake up, within seconds, your mind starts its morning routine. Of course, not the healthy kind. I'm already behind. I have so much to do. I'm terrible at managing time. And this day is going to be a disaster. And just like that, before you have even brushed your teeth, you set the tone for your entire day. Or maybe it's different. You're scrolling through social media, you see someone's success story, someone's vacation photo, someone's achievement, and immediately, oh, I'm so behind in life. Everyone's doing better than me. I'm not good enough. In 5 minutes online, your mood has crashed. And here's the fascinating part, these aren't just fleeting thoughts. Every single time you think them, something physical is happening in your brain. You're literally rewiring your neural circuitry, thought by thought, day by day. And today, we are diving into something that will change how you see your own mind, the neuroscience of thought patterns. So, let me explain what's happening inside your skull right now. Your brain has about 86 billion neurons. Yeah, quite a number. Nerve cells that communicate with each other through electrical and chemical signals. And when you think a thought, neurons fire. And here's the critical part, neurons that fire together are wired together. Think of it like this, the first time you think a thought, it's like walking through a dense forest, hard work, slow going. But the second time you think that same thought, you're following the path you made before. And third time, the path gets clearer. 100th time, you've created a highway. So your most frequent thoughts become super highways in your brain. They are fast, they are automatic, they are your default routes. The problem? Your brain doesn't care if the highway leads somewhere good or somewhere destructive. It just builds based on repetition. So when you think I'm not smart enough, every time you face a challenge, that neural pathway gets stronger. When you think people always let me down, after every disappointment, that pathway gets reinforced. And when you think nothing ever works out for me, congratulations, you've just paved another lane on the negativity expressway. Your mind is like a garden, neurons that fire together, wire together. What you water grows. So you can water the flowers or you can water the weeds. Either way, something is growing. And here's where it gets real. Habitual thinking creates emotional and behavioral patterns. Your thoughts aren't just abstract, they trigger emotions. Those emotions are drive behaviors, and those behaviors shape your life. Okay, let me show you how this plays out. Let's talk about a thought pattern. I always mess up presentations. So your brain fires that neural pathway. It releases stress hormones. Cortisol floods your system. Your body responds. Heart races, palms sweat, voices shake. You walk into the presentation already in panic mode. You stumble over words. You confirm your belief. The neural pathway gets even stronger and the loop continues. Okay? Many of you would think, my parents don't understand, right? So every time you have a conversation with them, this thought fires first. It creates defensiveness, frustration, resentment. You go into the interaction already guarded. You interpret everything they say through that filter. Communication breaks down. You think, see, they don't get me. The pattern reinforces itself. Okay, one more, and I'm sure many of you would be able to relate to it. I am bad with money, right? This thought becomes your financial identity. It influences every decision. You don't budget because I'm bad at this anyway. You overspend because what's the point? You avoid learning about finances because I'll never understand it. The behavior matches the thought. The thought gets validated and the cycle continues. See the pattern? Your thought create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Not because they are true, but because they shape your perception, your emotions, your actions. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of these thought patterns, you didn't consciously choose them. They were installed by things people said to you as a child, failures you experienced and internalized, cultural messages you absorbed, or even social comparisons that left you feeling less than. And then trauma, criticism, rejection that your brain turned into beliefs. So, been running on autopilot using neural software you never intentionally downloaded. But let me share an incredible news. Your brain can rewire. This isn't motivational fluff. This is neuroscience. It's called neuroplasticity. And it's one of the most hopeful discoveries in modern science. Neuroplasticity means your brain can form new neural connections throughout your entire life. That's old highways, you know, you built over the period. You can build new routes. Those negative patterns, you can literally reshape them. How? Through conscious, repetitive thought and action. If you spent years thinking, I'm not confident, that's a well worn highway. But if you start consciously practicing a new thought, I'm becoming more confident every day, you start carving a new path. At first, it feels awkward, fake even. Your brain wants to default to the old highway because it's easier. You have walked on it hundreds of times. But every time you choose the new thought, of course, that's new venue, you're weakening the old pathway and strengthening the new one. Neurons that fire together, wire together, yes. But neurons that stop firing together, stop wiring together too. Okay, let me give you a practical example of how this works. So, because we have multiple tools, tool one is the most common nowadays affirmations, not just empty positive thinking. Strategic reprogramming. You identify a limiting belief and create a counter statement. And then you repeat it daily. Of course, you repeat out loud if possible, because hearing yourself say it activates more neural pathways. Or when you say, I am terrible at public speaking, that becomes, I am improving my communication skills with every opportunity. Okay, another tool, visualization. Very, very powerful. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. Athletes use this all the time. When you visualize yourself succeeding in detail with emotion, you're firing the same neural patterns you would if it were actually happening. You're literally practicing success in your brain. A student nervous about an exam, visualizing walking into the hall, calm, reading the questions clearly, recalling information easily, writing confidently. The brain rehearses the pattern. So never visualize something bad going to happen with you. Yes, if you want success, visualize success. Then the gratitude practice, that is the tool number three. When you actively look for things to be grateful for, you're training your brain to scan for positive rather than the negative. You're building a new neural habit. At first, it feels forced. Okay, I'm grateful for my morning chai. But over time, your brain starts automatically noticing good things and the pattern shifts. Then, tool number four, mindfulness. This is about catching your thoughts before they run the old program. Don't let old thoughts come. When you notice I'm not good enough, starting to play, you pause. You don't fight it, you observe it. Ah, that's that old thought again. And then you consciously choose. Actually, I'm learning and growing. So, this act of interrupting the pattern is where the magic happens. You're stepping off the old highway and choosing a different route. So, now I'm not going to lie to you. Rewiring your brain takes effort. Nothing comes easy. We know that. You can't just think one positive thought and expect 20 years of negative patterns to dissolve, right? The old highways are strong, they're familiar. Your brain will try to pull you back because change requires energy and uncertainty. You'll have days where you slip back into old patterns. Where I can't do this, feel more true than I'm learning. Where self doubt screams louder than self belief. That's normal. That's not failure. That's the process. And the key is consistency, not perfection. Many times when you've started doing graphotherapy and beautiful changes are coming, but there are times when you go back to your old self and you begin to doubt. Please don't doubt. That's a process. You have your journey. Stay to that. Stick to that. Have belief in that. So every time you choose a new thought, you're voting for the person you are becoming. You don't need to win every vote. You just need to win more than you lose. Because, of course, the difference between winning and lose is not thousands and thousands of votes, but one single vote. And here's what starts to happen. After a few weeks, the new thought comes a little quicker. After a few months, it starts feeling more natural. And after sustained practice, the new pathway becomes the default. What once felt like posing positivity now feels like, oh, just how you think. So your emotions shift. You feel lighter, more hopeful, more capable. Your behaviors change. You take actions you previously avoided. You show up differently. Your life reflects the new pattern, not because you positive thought your way into success, but because you changed the operating system that was running your decisions. And suddenly you realize you have become living proof that thoughts shape reality, not because thoughts are magical, but because they are neurological. So let me leave you with this thought today. You're not stuck with the brain you have, you are in active collaboration with it. Every thought you think is either strengthening an old pattern or building a new one. Every moment is a choice about which neural pathways get fed. The negative thoughts that feel like truth, they're just well traveled highways. Familiar, but not permanent. You have the power to build new roads. Your brain is the most sophisticated piece of technology in the known universe, and you are the programmer. The code you write today, the thoughts you think, the words you say, the images you visualize becomes the software that runs you tomorrow. So here's your practice starting today. Identify one recurring negative thought, just one. Maybe it's I'm not good enough. Maybe it's always fail. Maybe it's like nobody cares about me. Nobody loves me. Write it down. Then write the neural rewrite, the thought you want to install. Instead, I can't do this. Convert to I'm learning and improving each day. I always mess up. Two, I grow through every experience. Nobody values me. Convert it to I'm worthy of respect and love. And now repeat your new thought 10 times out loud if you can. And while you repeat it, visualize yourself living it. See yourself succeeding. Feel the emotion of confidence, peace, or strength. Make it vivid. Make it real in your mind. Do this every day, every morning for the next 21 days. Yes, it will feel weird at first, but do it anyway. You're not lying to yourself, you are rewiring yourself. Remember, what you water grows. So you've been watering weeds long enough. It's time to water the garden. Your brain is listening, but what are you going to tell it? So, with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.